Past and future collide yet again as Urbain and Harmony finally get to meet Kalos and Serena. Yeah, that's right, in a brand new event for Pokémon Masters, we've gotten the protagonist and the rival of Pokémon Legends EX, and this one is a very fun event, though interesting to see that they're using Urbain and Harmony as the sync pairs, because I wonder where that places Paxton and Tawny in the grand scheme of things. But for the moment, in the actual game, our heroes have found themselves on Pasio, and they don't seem too bothered by it, though I guess having dealt with all these space-time distortions in Lumiose City and the DLC, randomly getting transported to a brand new island is not so different. Besides, I bet they feel really nice that they can finally leave the walls of Lumiose City. While they're out sightseeing and trying to take everything in, they run into Leon, who's gotten lost on his way to a tournament, and even though Urbain and Harmony don't know their way around Pasio just yet, they decide to try and help the best they can. Though kind of interesting because hypothetically they should know who Leon is, he has visited Lumiose City before, but it isn't until Kalos and Serena show up that everything starts to click, because when they name drop him, finally Urbain and Harmony realize who he is. And okay, yeah, I was kind of satisfied that at least came together. I guess maybe they just don't know exactly what he looks like, but they know that Leon is the big champion of the Galar region. Or maybe it was just a case of them not expecting him to be here, and Leon introduces Kalos and Serena as trainers who are from the Kalos region, and so they get to talk about Lumiose City. Though as Urbain and Harmony bring up things like wild zones, they quickly realize that their version of Lumiose City might be different. This is when Kalos and Serena let them know that people on Pasio come from different eras and different worlds. Though they're not exactly able to pinpoint how their worlds are different, we as the fans know that Urbain and Harmony are from a version that is 5 years in the future compared to Serena and Kalos, but at the very least they are still able to bond over their love of Lumiose City and the Kalos region as a whole. And I do think that this is really nice. It is a lot less jarring than the meeting of our Legends protagonist from the last game, but there's no time for them to really break down that lore because they are still late for the tournament. However, when they show up to the arena, Team Rocket is there causing trouble, having captured Professor Sycamore and taken some of his research data on Mega Evolution, which they then use to force Gengar and Beedrill to Mega Evolve and start causing even more trouble. And we do get a little discussion here about how things work, a little reiteration that all of the important characters on Pasio have things like Sync Stones that basically let them do stuff like Mega Evolution, though the usual Team Rocket grunts don't have them. And on top of that, they don't really have an actual true bond that they can share with their Pokemon to cause Mega Evolution legitimately. So the plan all along was stealing Professor Sycamore's data for the machine. Though Giovanni also shows up and this whole situation immediately goes to an 11, as he reveals that this is his next big plan to control Pokemon with Mega Evolution, which Urbain and Harmony are very familiar with stopping, drawing a parallel to Rogue Mega Evolution. Though maybe they should have done that because they accidentally reveal that there's another possibility of doing this, but I guess they'll stick a pin in that for later because they still need to say Professor Sycamore. So everyone brings out their Pokemon and the battle begins. This is where we're reminded, if you didn't already know, that Harmony has a Feraligatr with her, and Urbain has a Meganium. Though, oh yeah, by the way, Giovanni still does have a Mewtwo, which is putting in work against Leon's Charizard, and then he even commands it to just stand behind Professor Sycamore and use it as a human shield. Bro, this guy is absolutely despicable. So the situation does not look like it's going very well, but that is when Urbain and Harmony devise a plan. Because there are a bunch of trainers and Mega Pokemon, they realize that this is basically just a ZA Royale, and the plan ends up being that the rest of them are going to continue the battle on the main front, while Harmony sneaks around behind them and attacks with Feraligatr, throwing them all off and able to get the upper hand in this battle. And I do really like this moment because it does harken back to the different gameplay of Pokémon Legends EX, that being the battle system that takes place in a more three-dimensional space. So you're not locked to this regular face-to-face battle that everybody would be used to. So that is actually just a really nice callback to the actual video game mechanics of Legends EX, while also kind of emphasizing that Harmony and Urbain would have a much different experience because of everything else that happened in the story. So yeah, they get Professor Sycamore out of there and everybody else is able to go all out against Team Rocket, but when Giovanni also now causes Mewtwo to Mega Evolve, it knocks out Charizard with like one big hit, and so Leon continues to remain on Fraud Watch. Though the quote bonds of evil that Giovanni claims to have Mewtwo are going to be no match for a true bond, as now Harmony and Urbain Mega Evolve their Pokemon and showing everybody else that, ooh look, these are brand new Mega Evolutions, which is also a very fun and interesting idea. Again, technically these characters are from the future compared to everybody else. I don't exactly know where everything lies timeline wise, but yeah, generally Pokemon Legends EX is going to be about 5 years ahead of everybody else. Hence all the new Mega Evolutions that Urbain and Harmony would know about compared to everybody else. But yeah, yo boy Mega Feraligatr is just what they needed to defeat Mewtwo, and so Giovanni runs off for now, though some very scary implications now that he knows what Rogue Mega Evolution is, only being justified in that his idea will eventually work. But for the moment, the day is saved and everybody gets to celebrate. So yeah, story-wise and character-wise, I think that this was a really fun event. In all honesty, I really am happy with how these characters were introduced, and how they were also tied into some of the important characters that we know from X and Y. And now that we've also kind of broken the floodgate for Legends EA characters, I really am wondering who we could potentially see next, and where exactly the story could go, because again, Giovanni is kind of left with a bigger mission now. But with all the beloved characters we know from Legends EA, there is definitely so much more room for things to grow. And you know, if they do eventually decide to bring AZ and Mega Floette, that is going to be the crazy one. I'm so looking forward to that. But for now, that is where things stand on Pasio, as Urbain and Harmony decide to stay a while to help everybody else out. But there are also some little comics that were posted online, and I love when Pokémon Masters does this, because it gives us an extra little look at these characters interacting with others. Wow, I didn't think we'd meet anyone here from the same region. We have lots of memories from Lumiose too. There are way more wild zones lately, but some people aren't too happy about that. What do you two think? What's a wild zone? You don't know? By the way, we love battling too, so we're entering today's tournament. Maybe we'll face you in the ZA Royale someday too. The ZA Royale? Huh? You don't know about that either? Weird, how could that be? So this is the Champion Stadium. Imagine taking on a champion. I can't wait. To defeat the Elite Four and the Champion, using types they're weak against is vital. For example, Flint from the Elite Four is weak against water types, so I'm the only real choice here. I'll show you my aquatic illusions. I take pride in my skills with water types. It's clearly our time to shine. Then for Alligator and I should be a nut to steamroll him. That's an Elite Four member you're talking to. We've got another strange one on our hands. Illusions on Pasio, how wonderful. So these here are the Pasio Towers, huh? You can get stronger here by beating each floor's opponents to climb higher. For real? We have to try this. Is climbing like that an option too? No, that's just his hobby. I suppose it would help you get stronger, in a way. That could work too. I've got this one. That's against the rules! So let me know what you think in the comments below about this event in Pokémon Masters and what you want to see going forward for characters from Pokémon Legends EA. Also let me know if you rolled for any of these characters. I may need a while, but I'm going to try and get Harmony in for Alligator. But if you enjoyed watching the video, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and hype it up as well. And remember that I live stream here on YouTube and Twitch every Friday at 2 PM Pacific Standard Time. But for the moment, as we're wrapping up summer and the rest of the year, I guess let's go and enjoy Pokémon Legends EA before we get to move on to a brand new generation. Thank you to every channel member for your continued support, including the Great Gators, Cemetery Hill, Cosmo Zero, Shiny Swints, Star Shooter, Koi Koi 13, Cheez It 62, Gator Kid 509, TF, Mathaclock 947, Taijirai, and Quago. If you would like to support, see your name here, get access to emotes for comments, live streams, sometimes early videos, and our members-only Discord server, you can become a channel member today. You can also follow me on Twitter and Blue Sky as well for more memes. Anyway, this is Gatorex, and I will catch you all later.
Lumiose City is waiting, inviting you to compete as a Pokémon trainer in new dynamic battles. When night falls, the best trainers rise. Are you prepared to face the challenge and tackle the mysterious incidents happening in Lumiose City? Pokémon Legends EA, available October 16th on Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch 2.